Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. My name is Aki Rahman and welcome to Season 7 of the Catering Circle. In this season, we will be finding a restaurant star from the 10 previous winners of Season 4, which was held in 2019. Unfortunately, the pandemic delayed finding the eventual winner from the 80 contestants who were drawn down to 10 restaurant stars. In this season, we will be focusing on menu innovation, with the contestants creating their very own trend-setting dishes. Tonight, they will explain their choice of pricing and marketing of their respective dishes as well. The participants have submitted their recipes prior to filming of this show, and the special judges and panel judges are ready and waiting to score these top talents based on their creations and presentations today. We have also sent diners, special diners to the restaurants to taste the respective trend-setting dishes, and we are excited to show you the results and their reviews. Out of the 10 stars we have, over the next 3 episodes, we will whittle them down to 6 contestants out of the 10. Now, the top scoring 6 contestants will go to the semi-finals, and the final will be comprised of the final 3 contestants with the highest score. We shall announce the sole trendsetter and the restaurant star of Season 7 in that final. Each episode, however, will consist of 4 rounds. The first round, allowing the restaurant stars to give us information on their trend-setting dishes. The second round, allowing us to gain some feedback from the diners' reviews. The third round will concentrate on how the contestants market and brand their respective dishes. And the final and fourth round will concentrate on costs and profit margins. Now, to help us score these fantastic contestants, we have a panel of 3 judges, the 3 panel judges, and we also have 4 special judges. Now, the 3 panel judges each have 20% voting rights, and the special judges have 10% voting rights. And now, if my maths is correct, that adds up to 100%, I believe. Now, let's go to our 3 panel judges and introduce them. Let's start with Mr. Ahmedus Samad Chowdhury, JP. He's the chairman of Channel S Television, chief advisor to the Catering Circle as well. As one of the pioneers in the curry industry, he's played a key role in changing British dining habits and helping to popularize the curry as a unique dish. He's a community champion, a philanthropist, and has devoted much of his time to bridging the gap between communities. Welcome.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Next, let's go to Julia Erdal. She's a chef and an educator, a regular judge for many food awards, including the freeform sector, and is always looking at ways to adapt menus in this evolving market of allergen-free cooking and healthy eating. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's go to, finally, Dayashankar Sharma, who's a Michelin plate chef, one of the first Indian chefs who transformed Indian food at the global level. He's worked with the Oberoi Group for many years in India. Then he worked in different countries like Sri Lanka, Switzerland, and others. And finally, he's now here in the UK with his heritage restaurant in Dulwich. He's the owner and the chef there. Welcome, Dayashankar Sharma.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Fantastic. Now, let's go on to our 4 special judges. Mr. Farhad Hussain Tipu needs no introduction. He's an executive member of the Catering Circle. Assalamu alaikum and welcome.
Walaikum salam.
Then let's move on to Mr. Atiq Rahman, who's a chartered accountant and senior partner at RCI Chartered Accountants. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show. Again, Farooq Mia, MBE, needs no introduction. He's an educator, he's a project manager. He has an MBE and he's an award-winning educator and food connoisseur, a former partner at Cafe Masala restaurant in York, I believe. He not only has a passion for food, but is an experienced project manager and creative thinker. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Finally, from the special judges, we have Mr. ABDUL Bari, a successful businessman and a community activist. He's also the managing director of the Royal Regency and Regency events. Assalamu alaikum, ABDUL Bari Bhai. We shall move on to the mentors now. And let's start off with my friend Zia-ur Chowdhury. He's the winner of the Restaurant Star Show and Restaurant Talent Show Awards. He's also the owner of Montaz Newmarket, a successful businessman in the catering sector. Assalamu alaikum. I believe he will be mentoring JULAL SYED tonight, who's one of our contestants. Let's move on to Mr. Sabir Karim, Best Asian and Oriental Chef of the Year 2012 and 13, mashallah. Sabir Karim has combined his job of flying all over the world as a British Airways purser with a love of Indian cuisine, resulting in 2 award-winning UK restaurants. Now, the third mentor, unfortunately, has had a mishap on the way here. So we have Tofazur Rahman's beautiful face waiting whilst he arrives, representing him in the flesh. So he should be with us shortly.
Correction, Tafajul Mia.
Tofajul Mia. Sorry, I do apologize.
No, I'm here to represent Malik, Halal Malik, who is a dear friend and a great mentor. I don't think I can replace him, but I'll try my best.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure with that lovely tie of yours, you've replaced everyone here. Let's go to round 1, guys, and give a link to all the contestants. Let's see who the contestants are firstly. Yeah. Welcome back, and let's introduce our very first contestant of the night, who is JULAL SYED from the Taj Tandoori in Cambridge.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Today I'm here to show you our new dish, mackerel 3 ways. So the 3 B's. Biran, Bazi, Bora. Kashmiri chili, red chili, a mixed powder, which is a mix of like coriander and cumin, and we've got some black pepper in there and some haldi, fresh coriander, paprika, crushed black pepper, chili flakes, haldi, sea salt, red onion, mooli or like radish, spring onions, cherry tomatoes that's going to go in the khatta. There's some peppers here, some sweet red peppers to put in with the onions. Dill, which goes very nicely with the mackerel. Fish cake, the masbora, the mash. This is the marinated fillet of mackerel. These are the smoked mackerel and the onions and the chilies that we're going to mix together and create the bazi, and then the rice, and we're going to make the salad, the warm rice salad with that. So I'm going to start with the masbiran, the mackerel fillet. So this is some mustard oil that we're using that gives a lovely flavour. Once this gets high, we just get it up on a high heat, and then I'll just take a fillet and then skin side down first, and that should get that going lovely. Once it's on, just reduce the heat slightly, and it's going to cook for about 2 to 4 minutes. While at the same side, all those ingredients I showed on the other side, we've got the peppers, the onions with the mixed powder. We've got some garlic in here, some green chili. Now I'm going to do the mas bazi. So this is some cooked rice, and here we have the tomato soup, which has got all the ingredients. We've got some fenugreek seeds, we've got some cherry tomatoes, some vine tomatoes, we've got onions, garlic. The final is the very delicately prepared with panko breadcrumbs and some egg yolk, flour, just to give the coating.
SYED, who has created a magnificent dish from the roots of Bangladesh, from his home as well. So his mother's recipes, creating a mas biran, mas bora, and a mas bazi. So elevating that dish into a quirky, trend-setting form. He has used British ingredients in terms of the mackerel, and using authentic spices that are found in our home, and elevating this dish onto a next level, which is very innovative, and I think it will be definitely a winning dish, and I'm very confident in JULAL SYED to take this dish onto the next level.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. This dish that we've created today is from my Bangladeshi roots. It was inspired by the flavors that we have at home, that we like to eat. You know, I wanted to bring this onto a plate into the restaurant so that my customers can actually try. You know, this is one thing they commonly ask me all the time is, what do you eat at home? What do you recommend? And this is the reason we have created this dish. I named it Mackerel Three Ways as a dish that can just kind of create a suspense and intrigue so that people are wondering how I've done it, and once you get to see all three dishes cooked in the three various ways, then hopefully you will enjoy my dish, and I hope to see it on all the all the menus in the restaurants throughout the country and be a winner because of it. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, viewers. That looked absolutely delicious. Syed bhai, now we need the story behind your dish. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm JULAL SYED from the world-renowned Taj. No, I'm just messing. I'm just from a restaurant in Cambridge. But yeah, so basically, I think, like on the video we were saying, a common question that a lot of people ask is, what do you eat at home and stuff? And this was the idea behind our dish. We really wanted to bring like Bangladeshi cuisine to the forefront and really like celebrate the passion and the everything that goes behind the stuff at home onto a restaurant plate and bring it to our customers. And when it comes to Bangladesh cooking, it's synonymous with like the lovely fish dishes that we cook in our homes. And I think that was the main reason that the choice of protein for us was actually fish. And with the lack of readily available like Bangladeshi fish, we decided to go with mackerel, which is something that's sustainable. We can source it locally, and we can use it all year round. And we were going to bring out the Bangladeshi authenticity through the cooking techniques you applied to the fish. And this is also, mackerel is something that's used in a lot of British Bangladeshi homes throughout the country. So that's where the authenticity came. We plated the dish in a way that we tried to make it trendy in its appearance and pleasing to the eye, trying to keep like the Instagram culture in place and eat with your eyes sort of concept in mind. And we used like a little Campbell's tomato soup can to pour the dish out, and we had this little mackerel tin the customer had to open up to get the fish cake out to sort of engage them with their hands, and that reveals the fish cake. And it kind of gave it a bit of a rustic street food element, and that's sort of our restaurant's brand and ethos, and it kind of in line with the way that we present our food. We named it Mackerel Three Ways to kind of, I think I said, like to just keep a sort of suspense, and like straight away you think, how have you cooked that mackerel three ways? So that was the idea behind that, and it's also quite an easy name to remember, short and snappy. And it's also moving away from like the traditional Indian names that you have on restaurant menus and something, and it sounds a bit different. And the dish itself was an entire meal in itself. So, you know, it had the right proportion of proteins, carbohydrates and fats, so it was a whole meal in itself. We also tried to invigorate, like, the five senses, so we you know, like, you can see the presentation and then you can smell.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Syed. I'm going to abruptly end you there. Your 2 minutes are up, but that was a fantastic story.
Sorry.
We'll let you speak in the next round, don't worry. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, guys, let's introduce our second guest of the night, Mr. JASSIM HUSSAIN, and let's see the recipe first of all before we see what he's got to say.
Hi there, welcome to Shoreditch Fish and Chips. This is my Chef Ahmad. He's my head chef at Shoreditch Fish and Chips. We're just going to go through our signature dish. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but you can have a go. It's oak wood, fire smoked salmon and calamari. Chef, if we can just go through some of the ingredients.
Thank you. Extra olive virgin oil, meal deep flour, sea salt is going in the salmon.
And then we have here panko calamari for the crumbs, panko crumbs, Thai sweet chili, smoked paprika, roasted sesame seeds, and corn flour for the calamari strips. For the salad, we do shredded carrots, wild rocket, and slices of gherkin, alongside sugar snaps grilled with baby corn grilled as well.
Olive virgin oil with the fresh garlic and season. This is the panko calamari ring, and this is the fresh calamari with corn flour.
Hi guys, I definitely think Oakwood salmon and calamari has got a great chance of winning. It's a local sourced fish. Firstly it's smoked in the smoker, and then it's grilled, then it's put on the grill, so it's very, very healthy, keeps its moisture and its nutrients. It's accompanied also with a fresh salad and some calamari, very light on the palate. The margins are great. I think it's a phenomenal dish. I definitely think Shoreditch Fish and Chips has got a great chance of winning. Good luck.
The 5 points for this dish is USP. So when you're using words like oak and wood with fire and smoke, it gives it a sense of special way of cooking which nobody else does. Number 2 is health benefits, of course with the salmon and the method of cooking, and also with the seasoned salad. Not only does it just add colour to the dish, but it's also seen as a healthy green diet. Number 3 will say is simplicity and the minimal usage of ingredients, which saves you on cost and your service time. Number 4 will say it's value for money. So the size of the dish, and you get calamari inside, which can be seen as a starter. And then finally, the most importantly, is your margin. So with salmon you get a great yield, and with squid the trim is very low, so hardly any wastage when making the calamari. So you're working on a very healthy gross margin, and this takes into account any destabilization in the market, and then you gain when the market restabilizes. So these 5 points really are a great recipe for a new tasty product to thrive, and especially in these times, these unprecedented times when prices are hiked. So for example, like gas prices, and this dish actually doesn't even require any gas usage, so thumbs up for that.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. What an introduction to the oak wood fire smoked salmon and calamari. Jassim bhai, my first question will be, how much did the printers charge you extra for adding that name on?
Assalamu alaikum. I will speak later.
Okay, no problem at all. Second question, what is your story behind the dish?
So customers are looking for something different, and they're more and more health conscious now, and also looking for product value. So this dish gives them all three. It's a delicacy to have smoked food, especially hot smoked salmon. Obviously with the salmon, its health benefits, it's no carbs, low in calories, omega-3 fatty acids, and lean protein. And being a mass market taste bud, due to its less pungent taste and smell for fishes. Further benefits, the method of cooking. So we use sea salt, extra virgin olive oil on the dish, and then seasoned salad. Seasoned salad, not only does it add colour, it also is part of the daily greens in a balanced diet.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the balanced diet, so they have daily greens on it. So, sorry, I just lost my track a little bit there.
No problem.
And then,
got the time.
So bringing all of that, it brings the size of the portion value for money. So you have calamari on the side as well, which can be also seen as a starter but the calamari costs near to nothing. The name, using words like oak and wood with fire and smoke, it gives it a sense of special way of cooking, which gets you intrigued and attempts you to try and say it again, which nobody does. So that's your USP there. The simplicity and the ingredients that's required is very minimal, so you save on cost and your service time as well. With the margin, salmon's got great yield. With calamari, it has no trim, so that's why we push towards this. And Shoreditch, the area is a very trendy area, so people are into their health and the image of style and gym. So when you get a delicacy dish and a niche style, put it together, people are willing to pay that little bit extra with the experience, with the design of the shop and layout and presentation. And 10 seconds.
You've got 10 seconds left, okay, unfortunately. I won't do. I'll add another 10 seconds on. Go on.
With the experience of design and layout, and most importantly, visually value for money. So our brand and our dish fits the bill to cater that market and clientele.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jassim Bhai. That was fantastic. Your dish is health conscious to your customers as well as it's obviously tasty.
One of the mains.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time and see you in the second round. Now, next, we're going to introduce ABDUL MUMIT Zakaria, but before we do so, let's watch his recipe.
Assalamu alaikum, a very warm welcome to MAHDI Lounge. My name is Jakaria, and today I will be showing you a new recipe called Lounge Chicken Satay. You will need fresh spring chicken. Here we have locally organic produced spring runner beans. Other ingredients are as follows: turmeric, garlic paste, dried chilies, sea salt, mint sauce, sweet chili, fenugreek, fresh garlic, chili powder, homemade tandoori paste, soy sauce, ketchup, fresh chilies, tamarind, curry leaves, fresh diced peppers, half a lemon, breadcrumbs, peri-peri seasoning, spring onion, fresh coriander, 1 egg, half a lime, and olive oil. So what are we waiting for? Let's start cooking.
In order for us to cook our chicken satay, we need to first of all marinate our fresh spring chicken. So here we're going to apply some fresh olive oil. Now that we've finished marinating our chicken, we're going to leave that to set for about half an hour before we can place it into the oven. Now that the chicken has been marinated for the past 30 minutes, we're going to egg coat it and apply breadcrumbs before we put it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Whilst the chicken is being prepared in the oven, in the meantime, we can start preparing the sauce. Sauce ready to go. I can take out the chicken from the oven. Here we have got our chicken ready to go. Here's our chicken cut up into strips.
The whole
area is kind of a village atmosphere. They have a lot of tourists here, and the menu itself is more traditional. So the twist into the menu would bring and excite more customers. The dish consists of chicken, well-balanced dish with chicken and rice and fiber, which is the green vegetables, along with it. Price $16.95. I think it's very reasonable and a winnable dish. Definitely, I think Jakaria has done a very good job. Well done.
So you've seen the chicken satay. Why don't you come down and give it a try yourself? Experience the sweet and sour, the fresh chicken, and the herbs and spices that we've used today. For sure, I know I've come number one in this battle.
Welcome back, dear viewers. That seemed absolutely delightful. Zakaria bhai, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show. Fantastic. Let's now hear the story of your lounge chicken satay. You have 120 seconds.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, good evening. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying that coming from a restaurant serving traditional curries like Madras, Vindaloo, Rogan Josh, I wanted to take things a little bit of a next level. So what we've decided to do, what I've decided to do, is to create a new dish that is trend-setting by taking it from traditional curries over to more of an Indo-Chinese fusion. This gives the customer something new to try. And also, I've decided to also name the dish MAHDI Lounge Chicken Satay, as it represents my restaurant and my own recipe. In terms of the serving method, I made it to make sure it's fresh, it's colourful, and it's served hot with a side salad. In terms of my unique selling point for this particular dish, I've mainly focused it on health benefits. So in this case, I've used fresh spring chicken, which approximately contains 82 grams of protein. In terms of green fine beans, this is locally produced. It's also high in vitamin K. This helps create stronger and healthier bones. I've used peppers. This contains vitamin A and C, improves fiber. There's fresh chili. This contains vitamin C. Consuming chili, not quite on a daily basis, but every now and again, can help lower type 2 diabetes. In terms of the wow factor for my particular dish and the response I get from my customers is that we use dry ice when serving, so when it comes out it's got clouds of smoke being presented onto the customer's table, which gives the customer the appreciation of how innovative and creative and how practical this dish can be. Also, where I've mentioned that the dish contains rice, chicken and fine green beans, I've designed it to make sure it's all on one plate. This helps me to reduce labour costs, and in terms of the value for money, the cost price for this particular dish is $19.95. And
the time is up, but I'm going to let you finish your last sentence.
So, in terms of the price for the dish, it's $19.95. You get in one dish with a bit of side, rice, and a bit of a main.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. Now we're going to go over to our special judges for their comments. I'm going to start off with Tipu Bhai, first of all.
Thank you.
You have 30 seconds, unfortunately.
We have seen three of them really. Three of the dishes are really good, and I think the last one, when I was watching the lot, I feel I'm really hungry. So they're very healthy and easy to cook, and new trend setting. So thank you very much to all of them.
No problem at all. Let's move on to Mr. Atiq Rahman. What do you have to say? And again, 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, all of the three dishes are innovative, and of course, the first one, it has fish rich, so which is I think you tried to blend Bangladeshi tradition with British fusion, so which is good. And the second one, of course, it's grilled mostly, so which is healthy and protein rich, I guess. And the third one, you try to match Bangladeshi cooking with Oriental cooking, I guess. So, which is a unique fusion as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thumbs up from Atik Bhai to all the contestants. Let's move on to our very own food connoisseur, Farooq Mia.
I think congratulations to all three of them, with all the three dishes. Looks amazing. And like Tipu Bhai, I think I'm very hungry right now. I must say I'm personally a very big fan of fish and seafood. So salmon is probably one of my favorite dishes. But I really like what JULAL Bhai is trying to do, because I think I quite like the idea of the fact that he's got three different types of thing using the same mackerel in a way, three different ways. We get to try three kind of like Bengali.
Three forms of the same fish, basically.
So it's almost like
very innovative, yeah.
Really badly done. So well done, JULAL Bhai.
And let's hear lastly from the special judges, Mr. ABDUL Bari.
No, well done. All three of you have done tremendous job. I mean, all dishes look good to me, and I can see the need from everyone of them. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We're going to swiftly move on to our panel judges with some swift comments, hopefully, because I've only got 20 seconds each for you.
Okay, that's all right.
I will start off with...
what I wanted to say is, congratulations to all of you. Well done. But the judgment will be later. But out of three dishes, we'll find it difficult because two of them are fish dishes. Okay? And fish, as you know, is a Bangladeshi, popular item. So we'll see how things go.
Fantastic. I'm going to move on to Julia. We have slightly more time now, I've been told.
Thank you. Oh, my gosh, right. I'm good. I'm a fast talker. Right, so what I want to say is that all three dishes, what I thought was really good was that you tried to take a modern take on very authentic home-style dishes, and I think that is really a big trend right now, is to incorporate that, that heritage, that style, that thing, the way that you've sort of grown up, the kind of food that you've eaten, but give a little modern twist to it, because I think generally the public loves that kind of thing. And what I really loved as well is the fact that all of you had really good balance of texture and colour and flavour in your dishes. So I like the little mix of that. So yeah, well done. Very nice.
Excellent. Thumbs up again from Julia. And let's lastly move on to Dayashankar Sharma.
Yeah, all of three, as like Julia says, all three participants done a wonderful job. They have chosen a traditional, because the Bangladeshi cuisine, the fish is using is the #1 side. So the traditional way, I think, when we are representing food in abroad, like we are representing our Indian food, Bangladeshi food here, I think more traditional way, I believe in that the more heritage recipes, which is like we are using, that is, I think, a star nowadays, because people do understand nowadays that what is the traditional cuisine is. And I felt that whatever style of cooking is different, but the way of cooking, the spices are used in that particular dishes, I think that is more important. And what they have done here is they try to balance the dishes, which is like more traditional way. I seen that first one, yeah. the mackerel, which is like they made in 3 ways, which is like in a mackerel, one fish, but in 3 different tastes. I think that is good take.
Yeah.
They have done a fantastic job. I'm not saying that...
JULAL Bhai, I think thumbs up from everyone
apart
for your
from that,
innovation.
the fish, which is the chicken, which is like the satay, that is also a great, fantastic...
I'm going to have to stop you there, unfortunately. Right. So I'm going to allow you guys to mark up, and we're going to go on a small break while we count up your marks. So dear viewers, we'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome back. Before we find out the results of round 1, we have Hilal Malik Bhai joining us. Nice to have you here. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Glad you've made it safely here. We're now going to move on to the results. Hilal Malik Bhai is the mentor for JASSIM HUSSAIN. So good to see you here.
I'm definitely proud to be here with JASSIM.
Fantastic. I think we need a drum roll now, and we're going to find out the results of round 1. Now, in 3rd place with 74 points, we have MAHDI Lounge. In 2nd place, Shoreditch Fish and Chips. 80 points. We have Shoreditch Fish and Chips with 80 points in second, and Taj Tandoori has won round one with 94 points. Well done. Fantastic. Have a little clap. Excellent. You've got another 3 rounds to make up the scores, by the way, guys. And remember, today is not the be-all or end-all of everything. Remember, it's the top 6 contestants out of the 9 over the next 3 shows that get into the semi-final. Let's see the diners' reviews.
Got the presentation, the flavours and the originality of it hit the spot really. The way it was served on a nice plate, didn't feel too crammed up. I like the touch with the sauce in the tin pot. I also thought the fish cake balanced everything out. You had the spice from the rice and the sauce that was on the mackerel, and the fish cake sort of brought that down. And it had a different texture to it as well. And obviously it coming in the small pot, I thought that was really original and really creative.
Very original dish. I thought it was well presented. Had lots of different textures. It was also had lots of freshness to it, with the fresh coriander, and the chili gave it a nice kick, but kept it fresh as well. I love the originality of serving the sauce in the little tin that said tomato soup, and also popping open the can with the fish cake inside. That was a nice surprise.
I'm a big fish fan, and I often order fish when eating out. But it was nice to see a mackerel on the menu rather than just a typical salmon or cod. I know that mackerel is a very healthy fish, filled with nutrients and vitamins, and that's important for me. So yeah, thumbs up for that. The fried fish was very tasty. It was juicy, flaky, and full of flavor. It was accompanied with this fish cake that I really liked. It was very crunchy and gave additional flavor. It was different in flavor than the fried fish, and it was coming in this really nice pot that you had to open. A bit of theatre to the eating experience. That was nice.
Fantastic. They were the reviewers for the Taj Tandoori for the mackerel 3 ways. Well done. What did you think of those reviews? And do you think it's a trend-setting dish?
So yeah, no, very pleased. No one said anything too bad. But yeah, no, I mean, that was the idea, was really to bring the Bangladeshi cuisine into the mainstream, and I think that's what we're trying to do. You know, there's so many restaurateurs with Bangladeshi origin, and not a bad thing, but the Indian food seems to get a lot of the limelight, and we wanted to bring some Bangladeshi into it, and that's what the plan was behind this. And you know, we tried to invigorate all 5 senses in the dish, like, you know, when you to look at it's pleasing, when you know, the customer participation with the touch, and then with the textures, you know, with the sound, with the crunch when you go into the breadcrumbs, and then like the crispiness of the fish, and also the smells, you know, the traditional khatta smell, the tomato soup smell that you get. So these were the sort of things we were trying to do. And yeah, and also the mackerel, I think we tried to, you know, the props we used, they were like recyclable, reusable, and also the mackerel being what it is, like an ingredient that we can source locally, it's just like reduced our carbon footprint a little bit and tried to keep the dish as environmentally friendly as possible. So.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. Thank you. We'll see you in the next round.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Now, we're going to move on to the Oakwood Fire smoked salmon and calamari from Shoreditch Fish and Chips and see what the reviewers have had to say for that dish. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tammy, and I come to Shoreditch Fish and Chips every single week for cottage chips. But recently, I've been buying salmon. Look at this salmon, it's beautiful. It's cooked on Oakwood, which means it's healthier. Plus, you get calamari and this beautiful fresh salad. Good for the heart, a lot healthier than the cotton chips. I love this salmon, and my wife loves it as well.
Alternatives are great.
It's much healthier than the usual takeaway options. My wife loves it. My mother-in-law loves it. She's 83. It's the only thing she eats.
The salmon is good for my health. I can eat 3 times a week. It's perfect.
The unique taste of the smoke on the salmon is just amazing. And the health benefits, man. I get it like 3-4 times a week. Absolutely love it. And it's a great deal with like calamari and that. So certainly recommend it.
Fantastic, some glowing reports, Jassim Bhai. Excellent. Yeah. What is your take on those reports?
Yeah, well, they loved it. Well, my main thing was to get that smoky texture out because you don't get that anywhere. And it had to be a fish which, you know, for the mass market. There's a reason why Pret a Manger and Tesco have salmon in abundance, because it caters for the young and the old and the mid-range. So I wanted to go down that lane because at the end of the day, it's all about revenue.
Is there a special technique to get the smoke out of it, or does it come?
No, so we use
salmon?
oak wood in my other business, so we smoke meat. So here, my pitmaster, he smokes it with oak wood, and it gives it that layer of smokiness, which you don't get in many places,
anyway,
and that's what the uniqueness is. And obviously, because it's salmon, the health benefits is aimed at the gym goers, and it's all about revenue. So I wanted to cater, like you saw, there was a young lady there, a mid-range, and someone said the 83-year-old woman, that's all she eats because of the health benefits. It's presented in a way as well with seasoned salad with extra virgin olive oil, so it gives it that balance of colour and the healthy green diet as well. In terms of value for money, the dish looks quite big. You get the calamari on the side. Like I said, it costs near to nothing. But because they get that on the side, the value for money is there. And in terms of innovation, like I said, if no one else does it, then you should be raking in the dollar.
Excellent.
Right.
We'll move on to that on round 4 anyway, but that was fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jassim Bhai. Now our final contestant with his lounge chicken satay from Mahdi Lounge. Let's see what his reviewers had to say.
Tandoori flavour and a little kick at the end.
Very nice.
Complimentary to boiled rice, brilliant.
Definitely good.
It's a nice, and it's different because it was a dry dish rather than one with a load of sauce.
And I think mint sauce, neither is touched it, so I don't think you actually not need it.
Presentation beautiful on the plate. The rice, the chicken, and a little bit of mint sauce, and the flavour of the satay is very lovely.
This is something which me and my friend we never had before. We really enjoyed. It was a great surprise tonight to taste this on your restaurant. We are regular.
Beautifully presented, it's colourful and looks super appealing. There's fresh garlic throughout and a lovely sweet taste with just the right amount of heat. But for those who don't like so much heat, there's also a little bit of mint sauce. Come and try the Mahdi Lounge chicken satay, you won't be disappointed.
Welcome back, Jakaria, by glowing reviews again. All 3 of you are getting glowing reviews. What do you have to say about those reviews?
Thank you. I'm very pleased to obviously get the feedback. I think what's more important about my particular dish is having the right balance between the soy sauce and the sweet chili, because you don't want to make it too tangy and too sweet. So it's really important that we have the right consistency and the right balance to make sure that that particular dish is created to perfection. Obviously, in terms of value for money, you've got dinner basically served in one plate. You don't really necessarily have to worry about ordering anything else extra. We've designed it to make sure that it's just the right amount.
So do you think your oriental twist to it and your oriental fusion to that dish can make it a trend-setting dish?
100%, 100%. I mean, from my customers' reviews, as you can see, there's reviews where customers have said that it's not a dish that they've tried before, and they're very pleased to taste it, and obviously want to make sure that it's on the menu and available possibly everywhere in the UK one day.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jakaria Bhai.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next round.
Thank you.
Let's move on to our panel judges, and I'm going to go to Ahmed Samad Chowdhury, JP, first of all, and ask for his comments on that round.
It would be interesting to know on all 3 of them, when did they start, these dishes, so that is it during the summer or how many months ago? That would be my question.
With salmon, we always had it in our menu.
Always?
Always, but we had to give it a twist because salmon is a very common, like I say, it's a it doesn't have a pungent smell to it when you're cooking it and eating it. That's why it caters for the young and the old. With other fishes, it's not to everyone's taste. Some find it stronger. So what we had to do with the salmon we already had, it was just grilled with buttermilk. So this one, because obviously we're trying to create a trend-setting dish, is we smoked it in oak wood. So we smoke it for half an hour, and it gives that smoky flavour.
Do people think that it's the old dish?
No.
How do they think
you can have
that
it
it is
smoked?
a new dish?
Yeah, so you can have it oak wood smoked, or just have it as grilled salmon.
No,
So
I
there's two
didn't
variations.
ask that.
Then,
You know, the customers, you said that it was already there.
Yeah.
And you changed this and that, yeah?
Yeah. So when you
how
have-
does customer think that this is something new?
so when it's a signature dish, you obviously push it on social media and you advertise it more. So with signature dishes, it's obviously marketed, and so they know that this is a different version of the salmon. So that's how they know it's a new salmon dish.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jassim Bhai. So you're basically advertising that all across the social media as a completely new dish.
Yeah, so I think we'll discuss marketing next.
Of course we have. Yeah, brilliant. Would you like to answer Mr. Ahmed Chowdhury's question about when this dish came into
so
being?
this is a new ingredient that we introduced onto our menu, and it was it came out like we decided to bring it into the summer season. So like, you know, fish is something that's a bit lighter, and actually the khatta that we have, the tomato soup, is quite a soup, so it's not something that's very heavy. And again, with the mackerel, we use some like fresh vegetables and stuff and create this salad, so it wasn't, again, a very small portion of rice. So, you know, it was a very summery sort of dish, and that's why we introduced it.
Is it going to be a seasonal dish?
So we're keeping it for the summer at the moment, and we're going to see how it goes, and then it depends on its popularity. But for now, like, we do like to change seasonally. So, but having mackerel all year round, it may be an option depending on customers' desires. Yeah. So, thank you.
Fantastic. I'm going to move on to Julia. Any comments about
sure.
this round?
Well, I just wanted to say that actually it was really nice to hear from the customers, because they're the ones that matter. They're the ones that are most important. And actually, I think all of them seem to get where you were coming from. Sometimes it's easy to create a new dish and to try and, you know, create something a bit innovative and put it out there. But what happens is that, unfortunately, you miss the mark, you know, with the customer, and they're not really quite sure and they don't get the dish. So actually what was really great to see and hear was that all of your customers understood where you were coming from. So for that, I was quite pleased about that. So well done.
Fantastic. And finally, from our panel judges, Dayashankar Sharma, do you have any comments or questions?
So as like we seen all three dishes, you know, the reviews are fantastic, and I didn't listen anybody says anything bad about it. Everybody was appreciating about each and individual dishes. I think that is the best, you know, they are trying their level best to show, come up with something which is like more innovative. And that's what, you know, you can see the results. People are happy after having these dishes.
Fantastic.
I think it's great going, yeah.
Thank you very much. So 3 thumbs up from our panel judges. I'm going to swiftly move on to our special judges. Any comments from you, Tipu Bhai?
Thank you. I think what Mr. Sharma said, the customer review, all of them was positive. So they've done a tremendous work. So let's see. Thank you.
No problem at all. And Atik Bhai, again, same question.
Yeah, it was the diners review. So, of course, none of us have dined those food yet.
Yeah.
So
we will be coming, don't worry, guys.
So we have to, based on what the customers reviewed.
Yeah.
So as far as all the customers has reviewed good, so we need to, based on that. So it was good.
Brilliant. Again, Farooq Bhai.
I'd like to swap roles from being a special judge to be a food taster, because that seems a much better job.
Yeah.
But well done to all 3 of them, because quite clearly everybody's enjoying the innovations. That's one of the things I feel some of the Bangladeshi or Indian restaurants don't do, is try new things out. I like the fact that all 3 of them are trying new things, seasonal things. That's one way of trying out what people might like, because, you know, food trends are changing all the time. And I was watching a really good program on BBC the other day. We're saying things are changing even amongst Asian people. We used to like really hot dishes, and now we like the more milder dishes, whereas, say, the traditional English customers that didn't like the hot dishes before, now they're having even hotter stuff than us. So we need to be on trend, know what's going on in the market, and these guys are doing a superb job.
That's precisely why we've got this show, so we can find the best trend-setting dishes around and help the industry basically gain more profit margins from you guys being innovative, inshallah. Mr. Abdul Bari Bhai?
Yeah, I think more than anything, customers were happy and all the reviews was good. So you have done an excellent job to keep your customers happy. That's the main thing. I think well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul Bari Bhai. We're finally going to go to the mentors, if we can. And I'm going to start off with Ziaur Bhai. And let's talk about your contestant and how they did, and obviously your reaction to the reviews from the diners.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. I think Jalal, it absolutely done fantastically well. I think as soon as the camera's on, all three contestants, the nerves kick in. But once they get over the nerves, all three contestants has. The thing I like about all of them is they're independent to their restaurants. So whatever recipes that they've come out with is to their demographic and to their restaurant. So, and Jalal, obviously, the mackerel three ways is something that's warming to my heart, and I think it will be warming to the customers and clientele as well of Cambridge. So.
Which dish do you think is the trendiest, without being biased?
Oh my goodness!
I know you've got Shoreditch there, and you've got your oak salmon and stuff.
How can you even ask me that?
I have to put you in a position. That's my job.
Obviously, mackerel three ways just says it all for me. You know, it's got every texture on a plate. It's got every texture on a plate.
Let's see if the other two are brave enough. We'll go to Halal Bhai again. Comments about the reviews, the diners' reviews, and about your particular contestant.
Sure. I think the good news is that it's great to hear feedback from customers. It's positive for all three contestants and their dishes. I think they're great trendsetters, but in particular, obviously, I'm not being biased. Obviously, where JASSIM is actually in Shoreditch. It's a very trendy area, trendy place, and what I loved about his dish was the fact that they actually used a slightly different style of cooking. So they used a smoker. It's very rare to see to smoke fish. Usually it's burgers or steaks.
Of course, yeah.
So for him to actually rise to that occasion and actually send a new style of cooking, which makes it healthy, it keeps its nutrition, it keeps the shelf line as well, which is positive. At the same time, like you mentioned, it's about the key element for JASSIM. What I saw from it was it's about being health conscious and where we are. And I love his team. I love the food. And I'll come back very, very soon to you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And obviously, he's trendsetting in the trendsetting capital of the world, Shoreditch, probably. But we have a special announcement, and we have the results in for round 2, guys. So I'm going to press the special button. The results should be up on the screen for round 2. So MAHDI Lounge has got 74 in 3rd place. Shoreditch Fish and Chips has got 82, and TANDOORI, SYED Bhai, has got 92 points for round 2. Excellent. So if we total all the scores up, they're up on your screen at the moment. So Taj Tandoori is in 1st place, Shoreditch Fish and Chips is in 2nd place, and MAHDI Lounge is in 3rd place at the moment. But fear not, guys, we still have 2 more rounds left, so you can make up the points. Now finally, let's go on to our 3rd mentor, Sabir Bhai. Again, same question. What do you think about the diners' reviews and your particular contestant?
Assalamu alaikum. I think all 3 of them in their respective areas are doing extremely well. The reviews are amazing. Review actually says it all that they are popular dishes, innovative. In particular, Zakaria's MAHDI Lounge Satay chicken, I think that he created is very unique in that respective area, because most of the restaurants around there they cater for traditional classic dishes. So coming up with something new, Indo-Chinese satay chicken, I think is fabulous. And myself, I eat a lot of curries, but I'm off the traditional curries myself now, so I eat a lot of Indo-Chinese food myself, which is a kind of a street food trend in most of the part of UK, and I'm sure it's going to be a trendsetter for him. I wish him all the best.
Fantastic. So again, you've you've combined Indo-Chinese food together and created something that will set a trend, hopefully, in your chosen area, which is right. I'm going to go back to Julia, again, would you like to say anything to our contestants?
So I'm always intrigued to understand how you sort of decide on maybe putting a new dish in, a new dish forward, because sometimes it can be risky, can't it? Especially with your customers, getting your customers to welcome that when you're trying to change the menu and obviously price it up as well. So, you know, what's the sort of thought process around that? Because it can take a lot of courage to do something like that. Yeah, let's hear from you. Yes.
If all three of you just want to come on to stage
JULAL,
and answer
that's right.
question really
give
quickly.
Me a little...
For me, I think the confidence comes from it's something coming from home, and you know, these are the recipes I actually stole from my mum, and this is the sort of things that we grew up eating and stuff, and it's something that our customers don't get a chance to see, and this is something that, you know, has brought us up as we are. So you know, this was very important for me, and I think when I have the thought of my mum and her recipes there, I think I can't go wrong.
Nice. So lots of heart in there.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Fantastic. Jassim bhai, would you like?
Yeah, for me, it was something that was already trial and tested. Salmon was selling really well. We have 10 different types of fishes with cod, haddock, skate, rock, plaice. So what happens with this, if the salmon does really well, it's a trend-setting thing, every month you can just smoke any fish you want. So February could be a salmon month, March could be a cod month, so on and so forth. So you've got 10 fishes, 10 months, and it's different things. So it's a change in the signature dish, which keeps people on their toes. Like I said, because it's smoked and because it's salmon, people can buy it 2-3 times. It's not a treat, it's more like something you can have again and again. So some customers were saying they buy it 2-3 times a week, just purely because of that health benefit. So I don't want it to be a dish where it's once a month type coming, because it's at the end of the day, it's revenue and your gross profit margin. If the margin's not there, there's no point selling something which is only going to sell, and it's only catering for a smaller market. So like in Shoreditch, there's a lot of gyms around, and we'll come on to marketing next, I suppose.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And lastly, Zakaria?
I think for me, in particularly, designing a dish from scratch, it took a lot of market research. So I'm very fortunate I've got an EPOS system which actually tells me exactly what dish and how many quantities I'm selling of. Given that, talking to the customers and what they prefer, whether it's a chicken or a lamb, fish, my clientele in Rye was more or less towards chicken. So I took that into account. I thought, you know what, I need to create something new with chicken. And then I thought, let me go on to something on the healthy concept side. So green beans was the texture I chose to match the chicken satay and as sticky residue on the chicken and the outer layer of the chicken becoming crispy. Now with rice, the key question with the customer was, would you prefer rice or bread? Now, in terms of carbs, they're both exactly the same, pretty much could be just slightly up and down, but in terms of rice, it's got more vitamins and minerals. Hence why we went for rice.
I have to stop you there, Jakaria, but before you go, I'm quickly going to ask your mentor, Sabir Bhai, what would you suggest to Jakaria for the third round to try and improve upon his score at the moment? I'm going to put you on the spot.
You have put me in the spot.
Marketing and branding next round.
I think he's really good at that. So I'm sure you're going to talk a lot about why you decided about the costing, the plating, and visually pleasing and how easy on the labour side as well. You can talk about that, and I'm sure you can shut up in the score.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go to round 3 now, which is all about marketing and branding. Welcome back. I'm going to give you a quick recap on how the voting system works again. Our 3 panel judges have 20% of the voting rights each, makes up 60%, and then our special judges have 10% each, 4 of them, which makes up 40%, which combines to 100, obviously. So now we're going to go to a JULAL, SYED, for the first round. Marketing and branding, you have 60 seconds exactly.
Okay, so to promote this dish, we basically we have a marketing company that we work with, and we have this strategy, a 7-11-4 strategy, where we use like you have 7 hours of online content with 11 interactions over 4 different places, and what this does is it cements like our brand and our products into the market, and on top of that it kind of instills like trust and loyalty with our customers. And this is something that with this, like with 7 hours of online content, it's similar to like to get to know someone. If you spend 7 hours with them, they go from becoming an acquaintance to becoming like a friend. And you know,
are these customers or are these corporations?
These are like, so you know, like I'm saying, like if you've got like 7 hours of online content, you're like people are engaging with your content in the same way that you and I would like you become an acquaintance. We spend 7 hours together. We become
you need
friends.
11 interactions.
And then the 11 interactions are like, you know, we use like, we've got over 25 different marketing channels that we use to have these interactions. You know, they could be like hearing us on the radio one time, there could be a leaflet distribution coming in, they might see me at a charity event where we're promoting the food. So these 11 interactions, and sometimes they'll see us at the restaurant, school fair, so, you know, just different places like this. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next contestant. That was brilliant. JASSIM bhai, I'd like to welcome you to the stage. How did you market this dish, and what's your unique selling point?
So obviously with Google and TripAdvisor updates putting aside, social media is a key role, but I think we need to use it in the right dynamics. So instead of having loads and loads of followers, you only need a handful of influencers and bloggers, and let them do the work. Collaborate with them, giving them a free meal. But out of like 3 or 4 influencers and bloggers, they will have thousands and thousands. So let them do the work. You just got to give them a free meal and collab with them. Word of mouth is number one. So your product has to taste good and look good. It has to be presentable. It has to be appealing. It has to be unique. So collaborating, like I collaborate within my own other business where we smoke the meat. But in the pipeline for this dish, it will be collaborating with like gyms, because we have 4 or 5 gyms around us, and it's on the way to our shop and going past home. So collaborating with the gyms. And obviously then the little things like advertise on your receipt with your ecosystem, new dishes come in, Oakwood, hype it up, train your staff to talk about it, and probably the poster ad for passerbys. How long have I got?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll let you finish your sentence.
Yeah, so passerby posting ads. And with branding, the health aspect obviously is number one, and the USP is obviously smoking fish. And with that, like, you know, it's in the area, no one else does it, so then you can, you know, advertise it and price it as you want.
I may not have been listening before. The smoking aspect, is that for taste, USP, or is that,
taste.
Does that have any health benefits to it as well?
Yeah, so we sea salt it before we smoke it, so it locks in the juices. It's lean protein, so like for the gym goers, lean protein, I'm sure Julia would know, it retains muscle for mass during weight loss. And that's what we're trying to push. So when you collaborate with gyms, they have 600-700 members on the membership.
Of course, yeah.
So when you collaborate with them, and then you've got 5-6 gyms, and everyone's walking past and going to the gym, that's the market I think we're in now.
Thank you, JASSIM bhai.
And when it's something different, people pay more. It's all about revenue.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. And lastly, JAKARIA. Again, what's your unique selling point, and how do you market and brand your dish?
So in terms of marketing and branding for my particular dish, yes, we're on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. I've got a lot of regular clientele because in Rye we're a very small town village, you could almost say. So we do get a lot of regular clients who like to have the one-to-one interaction with me directly, personally. Now, when I do post pictures of my dishes, I always explain the health benefits towards this as well, so then they could see what the difference is. You could post a picture of your dish, but if they don't know what the benefit is, then there's not much point in getting that message across. So that's very important to me. In terms of me getting my customers' feedback, the one way I approached the market for this particular dish was that I went out into my local town during the afternoon trade, because we get a lot of tourists, so we produced this dish, went out into the town and gave samples, and that was my key feedback from local passing through tourists, regular clients as well.
Fantastic. Spot on. 60 seconds exactly. You've definitely been practicing. Brilliant, JAKARIA. Thank you very much. We're going to go to our special judges. and ask them, have you noticed anything different that they're doing than your traditional Indian restaurant with their marketing?
I think everybody mentioned about the social media. Obviously, social media nowadays is a big, media for the anything, everything. So, but we have to know how to use social media. So I think JASSIM mentioned, you need to involve the influencer and the blogger, which is very good. So I think all of them, they knows how to use social media. And he mentioned about the sample, he goes with the sample. So that's really good things he's doing. And I think the Taj mentioned about the 7-Eleven 4. So that's really, really good one. And I do follow him sometime. So sometimes I see him on the social media, all the dishes. So that 3 of them are doing fantastic.
Thank you very much, Tipu Bhai. Let's move on to Atik Bhai.
If you have a good product, it will not give you revenue. It needs to market it well. It needs to be marketed to the customers. And 3 of the contestants, all of them, they have mentioned about, of course, social medias, which is very, very important nowadays. And each of them, they have mentioned one of their unique selling point, which is for JULAL Bhai, it was 7-Eleven 4, which is unique to me. And then for JASSIM Bhai, he mentioned about, of course, collaborating with the gyms, so which was very good and unique to me. And for JAKARIA Bhai, JAKARIA Bhai, it was sampling to the customers, so which was unique for an Indian restaurant.
Fantastic. Your analysis is forensic, just probably like your accounting as well.
I'm an accountant.
Let's move on to Farooq Bhai and ask you the same questions. Did you see anything different there, and is it all about food?
I think once again, all of them are on the right ways in terms of promoting. I think we've moved away from the days of doing all the leaflets. I'm glad everybody's on to the social media. I'll tell you my own personal experience, because although I might not look here, I do like going out, eating as much. The latest of the trends that's influencing me to where I go and eat is probably this blogger, as JASSIM Bhai has said. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, they have social media. There's no point just doing lots and lots of pictures of dishes. And these influencers and these bloggers, honestly, they seem to be the way they try and capture things.
Because it's basically your link to accessing thousands of people that you don't know that the blogger knows, obviously.
Yeah.
So
and some of them are brilliant. The way, because they're doing it all the time, it's the way they come across and they make
I have to stop you there, unfortunately. Abdul Bari Bhai, we'll get your thoughts after the break. Dear viewers, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome back. We are currently in round 3, marketing and branding, of this very special episode, and we heard from all our contestants earlier on about how they market and brand their trend-setting dishes. Now, before we go on to our mentors, we're going to announce the results for round 3, marketing and branding, and there has been a change. So the results are in 3rd place, it's MAHDI Lounge. On Taj Tandoori is 2nd place, and SHOREDITCH Fish and Chips with 96 points gets 1st place. So I'm going to give you the results now, all totaled up on the screen. So at the moment, in 1st place after 3 rounds is Taj Tandoori with 264 points. In 2nd place, SHOREDITCH Fish and Chips, and in 3rd place, MAHDI Lounge with 220 points. Now, we're going to get the reactions of our mentors. Zio seems extremely happy with the results so far, obviously.
I was pretty confident with the first 2 rounds, but this has completely changed the game now.
It has. What do you think changed it?
I think SHOREDITCH Fish and Chips, what JASSIM Bhai is saying about the influencer marketing and the healthy side of things. I think influencer marketing is almost sort of the way to go now. So I think that must have, chipped him up a bit.
The results.
Yeah, that's right. But JULAL's, I think the psychological side of the business, not everybody understands, and the 7-11-4, I think, is just trying to get into people's brains into a different way. And
that's his strategy, isn't it, to market?
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's a new and innovative thing that can be put to the market of how we sort of do our marketing and how we engage with our customers. So all of them, traditional ways and non-traditional ways, are fantastic ways of marketing and branding. Yeah.
Let's go to Sabir Bhai.
Our results is a game changer for Shoreditch Fish and Chips. He's obviously doing amazing stuff with the social media, and that's the way it goes. I suppose inviting the influencers, that is a game changer, where they do the legwork for you, where you pay a free meal. I think with Jakaria, he's also he's done good stuff and researching the local market, and he's also doing social media. And what I like about him is going out to the tourist and offering the food to the customer, sampling the food, and that's a good way of marketing. I back in the days, I think when I first time I went to USA, I think about 25 years ago, I was at a food court in Florida.
You were 10 years old, obviously.
Yeah, I was then, and this is where I actually saw that food sampling in a food court, and I just thought, wow, that's amazing, you know. And you can pick and choose what you like, and then have the meal.
So you brought back the trends from an international country over to.
That was a long time ago. When we've tried it. It does work. It does bring in customers, definitely. But again, in the days of digital now, it's all social media and digital is the way forward.
And last but not least, let's go to our winning mentor, Hilal Bhai.
Winning,
comments
by looking at the actual the scores.
Round 3 winner.
Yes, so thank you. Thank you. He's doing really, really well. I think. I mean, look at all three of them. All three of them doing really, really well. And they're proud of what they're doing. I really like what JASSIM is doing. He's actually tapping into his local hub of people, which is the gyms. Because obviously we think of Shoreditch as a tourist, majority of the time it's a tourist area, but he's already organised a consistent revenue by tapping into the gyms and everything else, which is actually creating revenue consistently. At the same time, using the influencers and the bloggers, that's the key to what he's doing. And I think that's something we should be really proud of. And
I think he mentioned 5 particular gyms in the Shoreditch area that he's tapped into.
Yeah, I think that also is. And I think the other thing was, JASSIM, I think if I'm right, I think you are the only fish and chips in Shoreditch.
The high-end type, yeah.
The high-end, so exactly. So he's actually at the top of his chain, but he's now letting people know, well, hang on, going to the gym and having a treat is not what the gym is about. You can actually eat smoked oakwood salmon, a fish, which is universal. But at the same time, you can go to the gym and enjoy it and still be healthy. So that's a plus point.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's move on to our panel judges and go to Ahmad Samad Chowdhury, JP. Any comments?
I must say that I'm really glad the way 3 of you have presented your dishes and everything else. Things have changed, obviously. When I was a businessman, restaurateur, things were totally different. Now the clients are different, and you have to be different as well. And that's why you have, created innovative dishes with innovative ideas. And I think you have a bright future, and you are going to lead this industry.
Thank you very much for that. Let's get Julia's comments.
So I think what was really interesting was that actually, despite their very different locations, and I know Rye really well, it's a very small, lovely, almost like village-like town, and of course Cambridge, we all know where Cambridge is.
Do you think that's what made his decision to choose chicken over fish?
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. Possibly because Rye is quite close to a lot of fish towns, actually a lot of harbours. But what I would say is, so whether chicken or fish was going to be on the menu, what I would say is that what was interesting is that all of them, despite their very different marketing tactics, they're all actually tapping into their local area as much as trying to sort of go, spread the net wider. They actually all were very aware of who they had locally around them. So, I thought that was quite interesting.
So that's a very interesting point. So if you know Rye as a village town at the moment, maybe the influencer marketing isn't actually specific to that area, it won't work maybe because there aren't influencers.
So
if it's a village down and the demographic is a higher age.
Yeah, totally. So going out with samples definitely was a much better tactic for them than, say, what was done in Shoreditch with the influencers and everywhere else. So that's, it's a London thing, do you know what I mean? And again, with Cambridge, very unique and interesting modern concept of marketing and really going everywhere, sort of spreading the net quite wide to lots of different locations.
That's a very, very good point. Again, your marketing should be based on your location and your demographic. Not everything works.
No, target the customer, know your customers, know your area, know where you are, because that's what's going to get you the reach.
So thumbs up, Jakaria. You're still doing an amazing job based on your location and based on
100%.
Excellent. Again, I'm going to go to Dayashankar Sharma, marketing and branding. Do they do what you do at your prestigious restaurant? Is it similar?
It's totally depend on, as like Hulia says, as like Mr. Ahmed Samad Chaudhary says, that it's totally depend on the area where is your restaurant. If like your strategy is totally different when you are in different areas. Like if you are talking about Central London, there is the strategy are totally different than the Cambridge,
of course.
Maybe Shoreditch, maybe somewhere else. So how to have idea that where are you, which area you are in, and that is more important, that all three the dishes which is like created, they are all in different areas. Their strategies are totally different than each other. Only one thing is common, that is social media. Apart from that, all three, their approach for the business point of views, they have some different ideas. Like
your marketing that you do in Dulwich, location wise.
So that is my restaurant is also in outer area, that is very local restaurant. So my strategies of business and marketing is totally different than others.
Fantastic, thank you very much for that, Daya Sharma. We're now going to go to round 4, which involves gross profit, costings and pricing. Welcome back. We're now going to call the contestants over to talk about gross profit, pricing and profit. First of all, let's welcome back again SYED bhai.
Hello again, everyone.
You have 1 minute starting from now. Thank you.
So to decide on the price of the dish, we adopted a market minus pricing model, which meant that our dish, we priced it to believe where our market demands are. I mean, we looked at the demographics of the area, the analysis of the data from our Facebook and Instagram ad strategies, what our competitors are charging and what the average spend per head of our customers are. And once we got that, we were confidently able to price it at $17.95 while still providing value to our customers. And our cost of goods for our percentage for our business is usually around 18%, and we use that as a basis for the cost of the ingredients on the dish. And doing that, we knew that we couldn't spend any more than £3.23. And once I had that budget in place, I was then able to get the best quality produce, size it properly, portion it properly, and then and give the customer the best possible product at that value. And I think the plate cost of the dish actually came at $2.77, and we had a gross profit margin of 84.5%.
Excellent. You just finished off on the 60 seconds. So I'll let you finish off your gross profit margin.
Yeah, so it was at 84.5%, and then that gave us enough room to factor in all the other costs, including VAT at 20%, and we managed to achieve a net profit of around 14%. Excellent. And that then gave us a bit of a margin of error. So if the price wasn't selling out, we could maybe bring it down a little bit or something, and knowing that we were still making a decent net profit.
Because obviously the price of mackerel will change in the market.
Exactly. So then that gives us that margin of error, and we're still profitable with the dish.
You've got your 14%.
40% net profit, yeah. Excellent. After taking all other costing factors into consideration.
Excellent. I'd like you to stay on stage while I call Jakaria over, if I can. Again, what is your profit margin? Justify your selling price, and let's talk about your price points.
Thank you. So the cost of my product is priced at £20. I work on a gross profit margin of 70-30, so 30% being the cost to produce and 70% being my profit margin. We have to take into account the labour costs. So, and how I can quickly save this is by when the chef is preparing the chicken, whilst it's in the oven, the sauce can be prepared in the meantime. That will save me on labour costs, so it can be produced much quicker and more efficiently. Also, excess chicken, when slicing into thick strips, if there's any excess chicken left over, we keep it to a side and we actually make a homemade chicken soup rather than just throwing it away, which avoids wastage. And obviously, in terms of portion control, we want to be consistent and make sure it's the correct amount each time. So we're not serving big chunks of chicken or too small, because otherwise that will lead to customer complaints.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Again, I'd like you to stay on stage while we call our final contestant over. Jassim bhai.
The fun bit, eh?
The fun bit, yeah. How much do you take home every night, basically?
I'll start. So salmon has a great yield. So we've got to work out first and foremost your edible portion quantity and your as purchased quantity. So after working all that out, salmon has a 70% yield. With calamari, it's phenomenal. It's 99% yield. So there's hardly any wastage. So with those taken into account, we start pricing for salmon. It's £8-9 per kg. Each salmon £30 to £34. Once you cut it into 10 fillets, it becomes about £3 to £3.30 per fillet. Calamari, it's crazy, £45 for the 10 bags. Once you get each squid tube, it's 75 pence. You get 2 portions out of it. That's costing you 37p. That's why we've incorporated with the salmon, because for the customer, it looks like a good value, but it's costing you hardly anything. Altogether, if you add it up, salmon £3.20, squid 37p, salad 40p, other costs like sweet chilli and everything, £1.50 comes out £5.47. You do all your working out in gross profit margin, it comes to 71%. And with the competition in the area, because you're the only one who's doing smoke, you can charge what you want. So we're charging $18.99 with the salmon, calamari and the salad. It looks like good value for money, but you're making a profit of £13.50, I believe. So it's a volumes game now.
Okay.
Because you'll have the mass market, and the more you sell, the more.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's very, very detailed. When I was in the restaurant game, I believe I was paying close to £18 per kg for the salmon. So is it frozen or is it fresh salmon that you get?
You get fresh, it fluctuates, but you have that leeway.
You buy the volume.
By the volume, you have that leeway. Because if you're making £13.50 at 71%, someone might make 85%, but the margin might be £8. But you're making £13.50, so you can take £3.50 out. You're still making a £10 margin. So when you sell in volume, because that's what it is, it's about revenue. Revenue is not a treat. It's something one customer will buy 3 times a week because it's healthy, because they can. Fantastic. It's an alternative to red meat.
If you guys stay on stage, we're going to have everyone ask you guys questions specifically. And we'll start the voting as soon as basically we start asking the questions. So if you guys start voting. I will start with special guest Abdul Bari Bhai, first of all. What do you say about their price points and their gross profit margins?
When you price a dish, do you actually physically value all your costing? Did you do it actual costing genuinely? Because in our time we used to do that. But if you do that, how do you do that? And if all of you have done that.
Very good question. That's to all of you guys, yeah?
I think in this day and age, I mean, not knowing your numbers, you're not going to be able to survive, and it's really tough at the moment, with all the rising costs and everything. So knowing the minute details of every little cost of every little thing is something that you have to be on top of, I think, and that's something we try to do. And it's like a full-time job just doing that. There's a lot of people working within the kitchen, but actually working on the business, trying to get these things in place to make sure that you're actually going to turn a profit is crucial to the survival of our business, I think.
Thank you. Jassim bhai?
Yeah, so we have to work out what wastage you're going to get from a kg of salmon. And then you've got to take all that into account, then add your minor costs like the salad and everything else. Obviously, you've got to take into fact VAT and everything. So you put everything together. There's a formula for gross profit margin. There's a formula for working that percentage of yield. And you just got to put that in a spreadsheet and it will work out. So if you're working on 70, like I said, my 71% margin, it's a £13.50 profit. You have a lot of leeway. And yeah, you've got to take into account wastage, because I think that's what we miss out. And then Currently, with gas prices going up, I'm sure we're all affected. It's some of those things, if you can avoid using the gas or the stove, I think that's going to save you a lot on your cost as well. So that's what we're taking into account. So like our dish here, it doesn't require any gas usage. So that's something in mind for the next 2 years.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And finally, Jakaria by the special judges mark.
Definitely numbers is very important for any business, especially nowadays with the inflation going up. For example, a box of chicken that I used to get 10 kilos, it was £21. That same box is now £53. So we do have to weigh in the numbers. Otherwise, you're just opening up a business to not make any profit. So yeah, numbers definitely is a must.
Fantastic, guys. And I'm going to take quick comments from the rest of my special judges and my mentors. If we keep away from the questions right now, unfortunately, and we'll get the questions from the panel judges quickly at the end. Jeff?
I think the guys have touched on something already. Is the cost of living going up? How are they coping with the price of everything from oil to fish to chicken? Everything increasing. You can't possibly all making 70% profit anymore right now.
So I think Farooq Bhai is asking you guys, how have you factored in the increases in the cost of living, and have you factored it into all your profit margins? Yeah,
Yeah,
quick
so
answers.
One of the things, like, we use a lot of gas for other fishes.
Yeah.
So the different alternative to cooking is smoke. So there is no electricity or gas. It's just literally oak wood and fire, and that's it. So there's no. So that's one of the things I think is the biggest thing at the moment, and we're all affected by is oil, gas, and electric. And those three things are not required in the dish for salmon because you're using just wood and fire. So that's what we had to take into account with the cost of living.
So you've taken out the fact of the rise in oil prices and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's no gas usage either.
Excellent.
So.
Jakaria?
Yeah, so factoring in terms of the costs, my main dish price before the inflation hit was most expensive dish, probably about £11.95, £12, if that. That's for seafood, king prawn dish. Chicken dish, at most, house special was about £10. So weighing in and charging this dish at £20, it covers the new inflation cost for sure.
Excellent. And same for you, SYED Bhai?
Yeah, so again, I think like what we were doing with each of the menu items, the market minus pricing strategy that we use is important because then we know exactly how much profit we're making. And once we're there, with the prices fluctuating, you can, and if you can get a good enough profit margin, then you can, have that margin of error. And yeah, so that's why having the numbers to hand, and there are many numbers to look at.
Yeah,
once you have them to hand, you can confidently move forward, knowing that whatever you're pricing, you're not making a loss, or you're breaking even, or even if you have a couple of loss leaders, overall the business is on a profit basis. So yeah.
Excellent. Talking about numbers, let's go to Atiq Bhai.
Yeah, I'm a number guy, so of course I have noted all the gross profit margin, what you have said. JULAL Bhai have said 84.5% gross margin. JASSIM Bhai has said 71%. And Jakaria Bhai has said around 30-70, so I believe it's 70%. But did you guys consider about your net profit? Because of course, after gross margin, you have loads of overheads, and considering the prices is going up, gas prices, wages, national insurance, everything has gone up. So, have you considered your net profit? What is the margin of the net profit?
I believe
I mentioned, I think I was at 14% on my dish particularly, but yeah, I mean, I did factor in, like, we have a prime cost where we take the labour and the food costs together and make sure that stays within like a 60% region, because sometimes with just the food costs,
I'm going to have to cut you off, SYED, but I'm going to have to cut everyone off. We're quickly going to go to the fourth round results, and the results are in. Third place with 76 points, we've got Mahdi Lounge, Taj Tandoori with 82 points, and Shoreditch Fish and Chips has won round 4 as well. Well done, JASSIM Bhai. So the overall results for today, drum roll please, is up on your screen at the moment. So Shoreditch Fish and Chips has taken #1 spot. We've got Taj Tandoori second place with 346 points, and Mahdi Lounge on third place at 294 place. Congratulations to Shoreditch today. All three of you contestants have been absolutely fantastic tonight. I know we have a winner for tonight, but the rest of you two can still win. Don't worry, because we're taking the top 6 out of all 9 contestants. So as long as you get the top 6 scores out of all the 9, take your scores home with you, memorize your scores, watch the next 2 episodes, and as long as 3 other contestants get below you, you reach the semi-finals. In the semi-finals, there will be 6 of you battling it out for the final 3 places in the final. Everyone has a chance, so don't worry about it. Thank you very much to all our special judges and all our panel guests tonight.
Can I just really quickly just say one thing?
Go ahead, quickly.
Happy birthday, Mum. It's her birthday today, so I just wanted to wish her on TV. Thank you.
MashaAllah. Happy birthday to Syed by his mum from all of us at Channel S. Alhamdulillah. Congratulations, Hilal Bhai, mentor, winner. Final words, please.
Well, Jassim said it all to start with. It's all about revenue. It's all about minimising waste. And you know what? Today, actually, all three of these guys, they should be really proud. They are actually, in my books, they're all millionaires. I mean, they're the best of the best from what we can see so far. So good luck to the other contestants and well done, Jassim. Yeah, again.
Fantastic. Hilal Bhai has predicted top 3 already, even before we've watched the final tournament. Everyone's final comments. I'm going to start with Ahmad Samachari Bhai.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting evening. You know, we have learned a lot. Being a ex-businessman, things are moving fast, and they're doing very well.
Fantastic. Julia, quickly.
Just excellent, really knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable in all aspects, all of them. Really forward-thinking, very impressive, very impressive.
Excellent, well done, guys.
It's fantastic to see you all 3 here, and it's wonderful, and you've done your fantastic job, and you can see that it's really amazing.
Fantastic mentor, Sabir Bhai.
Yeah, congratulations to Jassim. Well done. But to be quite honest, all 3 of you have done extremely well. And I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ziaur Bhai, you were winning, and then what happened?
I think it was. It's too close to call because they're all so good, and the different styles that they did with the food and stuff. So I think obviously all 3 of them are winners. So it was too close to call to separate them.
Thank you very much. And finally, Tipu Bhai.
I think, as he said, all 3 of them are winners. And thank you very much to all of you, because, you have taken your time, not just helping the community, helping
Tipu
the
Bhai,
other restaurants.
I'm going to have to stop you there, unfortunately. But we will see 3 more new contestants back on the next show in episode 2 of season 7 on the 2nd of August. Inshallah, we will see you all there again to find out how many more go through to the semi-final. Thank you very much for watching us at the Catering Circle, and see you soon. Thank you.